Hello, and welcome to Cooking with Todd. This is Todd. For today's video, I am making a hot pepper bacon jam. And this recipe is inspired by this right here. I love this jam. I no longer live in an area that has a Kroger, so I can no longer get it. I probably could order it online, but every time I check, it's out of stock. So I just went through the ingredient list here and picked out everything that I could personally buy. And mine actually tastes better than the store-bought. Way better than that, actually. It has so much more flavor. So what you're going to need for this is you're going to need 5.6 kilograms of sugar. I believe that's 24 cups. You're going to need 800 grams of red bell pepper, and that's going to be minced. You're also going to need 480 grams of jalapeno peppers. That is also going to be minced. If you want to take the seeds and the membrane out of the jalapeno, you'll want to just do the weight of the actual flesh of the jalapeno. So, and my red bell peppers are at the very bottom here. And these are all homegrown in my garden, so that is nice. You're also going to need 1 liter of water. I don't have that out right now. I don't have the sugar out right now either. You're going to need some cooked bacon. I just guessed. I got a bell pepper there. I just guessed on how much I'm going to need, and that's what I pulled out of my freezer to thaw. I did pull 2 extras out, just in case. You're also going to need 236 milliliters of distilled vinegar. That's about 1 cup. You're going to need 4 boxes of pectin. You're going to need 8 tablespoons of lemon juice. You're going to need 4 tablespoons of sea salt, 4 teaspoons of liquid smoke. I'm using mesquite in this recipe. You can use hickory if you want, but I would recommend the mesquite. And you're going to need 1 tablespoon of chipotle powder. To get started, I'm going to go ahead and cook my bacon. And to do that, I'm going to just take my strips here, and I'm just going to cut them lengthwise down the center, and then I'm just cut them looking for a dice. And you're going to want to cook these until they are very, very crisp, nice and golden, not burnt, just nice and golden. I'll bring you back when to show you what you want to bring them to. But I'm going to go ahead and just get this here cut down, and I will show you the size that you'd want to look for those. Okay, so I'm back, and I got my bacon all cut up, and these are about the size you're wanting to go for, about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and just start by adding in about a cup. So I'm going to start by adding in about 500 milliliters of water, or about 2 cups. And I'm going to grab me I don't really need that one. I'm just going to grab a wooden spoon here. Stir everything up. Go ahead and turn my heat on to a high heat. All the water does is help ensure that it renders the majority of the fat down. And it also kind of helps prevent burning a little bit at the very beginning stages. So I'm going to go ahead and just get this reduced here until it starts frying and get it all fried up, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I'm back, and this is done now. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut my heat off. And I'm going to start by just using this, kind of just ladling it over the pot that I have it in, or pan I should say. I'm going to go ahead and put this over here since it is full, and I'm just going to kind of tap it like that. Now you can definitely see, let's bring it up closer, that is cooked very well. It's just perfect. So this is going to sit here and drain or strain, whatever you want to say. I'm probably going to go ahead and just dump this through. This is going to go ahead and sit here until it's drained plenty enough, I guess. I don't really know how long, maybe 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and just put this through. And if it burns to the bottom of the pan like that, don't even worry about it. This pan's not being reused for anything, so it will not affect the end result at all, just as long as your bacon is not burnt. And if you want to, you can save this bacon grease, which that is what I'm going to do. I use bacon grease for a lot of things. Makes amazing fried eggs. And you're going to get some, you can definitely, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. You're going to get some stuff that looks kind of like, I don't know, it's like, here, I got a piece. There you go. But you're going to get stuff that kind of looks like powder. I don't know what that is. I think it's just the, whatever is, when you're frying your bacon normally, it's kind of like this slimy stuff. Kind of like what would happen with blood when you're frying like a pork chop or something. How it kind of coagulates around the edges. I think that's what that is. I'm going to go ahead and just get the last little bit of this grease out of there. I'm going to set this off into the sink with some water, since I already know that's going to be a bear to try and get out without soaking it. Okay, so I'm back. My bacon is back there, and while that was draining, I have measured out my spices, which was my chipotle pepper and my sea salt. That's in here. Then right here I have my lemon juice and my liquid smoke. I have my distilled vinegar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the included directions that comes with my pectin. And what I'm going to do is, since I'm not using fruit, this is how I did it last time and it worked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add in all of my fresh vegetables here, which is my red peppers and my jalapenos. And if it has any juices like that, go ahead and add those in too. Alternatively, if you would want to use ripe jalapenos, which those are red, you could use those instead of the green ones. I like to use the green ones because it gives it an extra contrast of color, I guess. Or you could do it in reverse, use green bell peppers and red jalapenos. I like the sweetness the red bell peppers have. Not that it really lends that much because we're using so much freaking sugar, but that's just how I like to do it. I'm going to go ahead and add in my chipotle pepper and my salt right there. I'm going to go ahead and add in my vinegar here. My liquid smoke and my lemon juice. I'm going to rinse that out with just a little bit of water. Not much to make a difference. I'm going to go ahead and add in my 1 liter of water. I think that might have been a little over, but that is fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab my bacon here. And I'm going to do one more step just to try and remove any residual grease that may be in here. And I'm going to rinse it off in some hot water, so I will bring you back after that's done. Okay, so I rinsed those off twice, and I went ahead and just dried them out on a paper towel. And I'm going to try to do this without dropping it everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and just dump this into my pot. So I am going to go ahead and grab that wooden spoon from earlier and just give this a stir. Make sure all of my seasonings and everything are good to go. Probably could have got away with using a little bit of a smaller pot here. Okay, so and after looking at my recipe, I realized that I'm supposed to do 2 liters of water or 8 cups. So I mismeasured on that one. I read my recipe wrong. I don't know how I did that, but I'm going to go ahead and just add that in. Alright, so now that should be right. That looks better. I thought it looked a little, I don't want to say dry, but it looked like there wasn't enough liquid in here. Okay, so I think that is stirred good enough. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab my directions for the jam here. Okay, and after reading over this, I'm going to go ahead and get my sugar measured out, and I am going to add in a couple tablespoons of butter to reduce foaming. So I'm going to go ahead and get that cut. Now I'm just going to throw the rest of this in there. It ain't going to hurt none. I need to use it up anyways. So there's that. So I'm going to go ahead and get my sugar measured out, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I got my sugar measured out here, all 5.6 kilograms of it. And this is an 8-quart pot here, so that is quite a bit of sugar. I actually went through 3.5 1.21 kilogram bags. I think that's 4 pounds. So it's about 12 pounds of sugar here. Let's see, go back over these directions one last time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stir in my pectin and go ahead and turn the heat on and bring this up to a full rolling boil. That is a boil when you stir it, it does not stop boiling. And you are going to want to stir this constantly while it's coming up to that full rolling boil. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a stir. Go ahead and get that incorporated. The reason you're wanting the bacon to be really well cooked is because it's going to be in a liquid, so it's not going to be crunchy anymore per se. It still might be a little crunchy. It just all depends. But this is going to put off some fumes. You probably should keep your nose away from the pot. But I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I will bring you back. Okay, so I'm back, and it is at a full rolling boil right now. So I am going to go ahead and add in my sugar, and then I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute. And I'm going to want to stir that constantly. While this is boiling. Try and smash any lumps. I did originally sift it, but I had to go get another bag, and that bag I did not bother sifting, so the only thing I don't like about this jam is everything separates. I do have a jar in here that I can show you. As you can see, in this jar here, I actually, the beginning of this year, but everything it kind of just separates, and you can tell that the consistency I'm at now is pretty much what this was after it was processed. So this has to come back up to a boil. It doesn't say a full rolling boil, so once it comes up to a boil, I will go ahead and start my timer for a minute. I do have 3 cases of half-pint jars back here. That's 236 milliliter jars. I have my canning funnel here. I have my canning tongs. The only thing I don't have out and ready right now is my pressure canner, but that will take a couple minutes. That'll just take like a minute or two to get set up and ready to go. I don't know why this is taking so long, but I am going to go ahead and just pause this, and I will bring you back when I'm getting ready to jar everything up. Okay, so this is finally at a boil. I'm going to go ahead and start my timer for 1 minute. When my timer goes off, I'm going to immediately remove it from the heat. And then I should be good to go ahead and start jarring these up. But if you have any foam that may rise to the top during this, whenever you take it off, you will want to go ahead and remove that with a spoon. But this is now done, so I'm going to go ahead and stop that timer, and this is going to need to go ahead and settle down. I'm going to go ahead and just move my camera angle. It might end up fogging up, but I got my canner here and ready to go. I have 2 gallons of water in it to start. I'm going to just give this a stir. It's going to be a little difficult to kind of get all this foam out of here. So I'm going to just leave it be. So I'm going to can these in my half-pint jars, obviously, like I've said. And I'm going to can it to fill it up to the normal spot I always fill it up. The little lip right here. That's where I always fill it up. You're going to want to fill your jars up to that headspace, and you're going to want to process those in a water bath canner. Those are going to need to be processed for 10 minutes. I am using my pressure canner as my water bath canner. Like I said, I got 2 gallons in here to start. I should be able to fit 26 jars in here. I'm going to go ahead and just give this a quick stir. All of the foam that was in here has subsided, so that is good. So I'm going to go ahead and just end this video right here. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that like button. If you enjoy the content I'm putting out, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for coming along with me on this journey of mine.